Hello, sixth graders. Welcome to sixth grade math ratios lesson. Pause while you write the lesson title in your interactive student notebook. Pause again while you write today's lesson objective in your notebook. Today's objective is I can write ratios by completing practice problems with 100% accuracy in multiple attempts. The Arizona standard we'll be addressing today is understand the concept of a ratio as comparing two quantities multiplicatively or joining, composing the two quantities in a way that preserves a multiplicative relationship. Use ratio language to describe a ratio relationship between two quantities. Notice the pencil icon at the top of this page. That means that you need to go ahead and copy this key idea into your math notebook. Let's read it together. A ratio is a comparison of two quantities. Ratios can be part to whole, or whole to part comparisons. Examples are 2 red crayons to 6 blue crayons, 1 red crayon for every 3 blue crayons, 3 blue crayons per 1 red crayon, 3 blue crayons for each red crayon, 3 blue crayons out of every 4 crayons, 2 red crayons out of 8 crayons. The ratio of A to B can be written as A:B. I encourage you in your notebook to also draw the picture that is here with this as an example, and to use some colored pencils or crayons to color it as it is here in your notes. Let's take a look at example 1, writing ratios, and we're going to go ahead and read this little box off to the side. It says, remember, part to whole relationships compare a part of a whole to the whole. Fractions represent part to whole relationships. Part to part relationships compare a part of a whole to another part of the whole. It's a lot of words, but you'll see how it works. Ratios are not nearly as hard as we think they are. So it says you have the coins shown. So if you look over here, there's a whole bunch of coins. Write the ratio of pennies to quarters. So the trick with writing ratios is that you always have to write the numbers the way they are given to you in the question. So it asks for pennies first, so we count up the pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pennies, and then we want to count the quarters, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quarters. So we have 6 to 7 pennies to quarters. So the ratio of pennies to quarters is 6 to 7, or 6:7, which you just say as 6 to 7 as well. And letter B asks us to write the ratio of quarters to dimes. So quarters comes first, and dimes comes second. So we have to write the 7 first. We've already counted our quarters. And then let's count our dimes. So there's 1, 2, 3 dimes. So we have a ratio of 7 to 3. So the ratio of quarters to dimes is 7 to 3, or you can write it with a colon in there, 7 to 3. Then we're going to write the ratio of dimes to the total number of coins. So we write a 3 for the dimes, and then we add up our total number of coins. So we had 6 pennies, and we had 7 quarters, and we had 3 dimes. So when we add that up, we have 16 total coins. So the ratio of dimes to the total number of coins is 3 to 16, or you can write it with a colon in the middle, 3 to 16. A way to visualize ratios is using a tape diagram. So the ratio of your monthly allowance to your friend's monthly allowance is 5-3. The monthly allowances total $40. So how much is each allowance? To help you visualize the problem, you express the ratio 5-3 using a tape diagram. So it helps if you use graph paper when you're doing this so that your boxes are all the same size, but as long as they're close, it's fine. So you have to label it, you and your friend, and you make it so that you have 5 boxes because you are the 5 and your friend is the 3. Because they said the ratio of your monthly allowance to your friend's monthly allowance. So you came first in that sentence, so that means that you come first in the ratio. So you have 5 boxes, your friend has 3 boxes, and there are a total of 8 boxes. So the 8 parts represent $40 because it says the monthly allowances total $40. And it says because there are 8 parts, you know that one part represents 40 divided by 8. So we want to find out how much money is in each box. So 40 divided by 8 equals $5. So if you were doing this on the board, I would have you write a 5 in each box because each part is worth $5 because 40 divided by 8 equals 5. So then you can tell how much your allowance is and how much your friend's allowance is. And it says 5 parts represents 5 times 5 because you have 5 boxes and there's a 5 in each box. So 5 times 5 is $25. That's how much you make each week. And your friend's allowance is 3 boxes times 5, so your friend makes $15 a week. So your monthly allowance is $25 and your friend's monthly allowance is $15. So we're going to use a tape diagram again for a garlic problem. You separate 42 bulbs of garlic into 2 groups, one for planting and one for cooking. You will plant 3 bulbs for every 4 bulbs that you will use for cooking. So you're going to have your planting and your cooking. So 3 for planting and 4 for cooking. So if you add 3 plus 4, you get 7 parts. And you have 42 bulbs total. So you take 42 divided by 7, and that's how you get a 6 in each box. And it says each bulb has about 8 cloves. About how many cloves will you plant? And it said to help visualize the problem, we're going to express the ratio 3 for every 4 using a tape diagram, which is what we've been working on here. So it says there are 3 times 6, which is equal to 18 bulbs for planting, and 4 times 6, which is 24 bulbs for cooking. The group of 18 bulbs has about 18, so this is the planting group, times 8, which equals 144 cloves. So you will plant about 144 cloves of garlic. Please remember to finish your notes in your interactive student notebook and complete your questions on Google Forms and review the lesson if you need to. Also, you need to do your Big Ideas Math assignment in your Math Spiral notebook and submit that when it is 100% correct, not before. Be sure to track your progress on your playlist.